So I think we just crack into the draft, and see what the players have got for us. The I think we'll learn a lot about this set in the opening bands. So
I agree.
let's just see what the players have got for us. Legrand Foss straight out. The Accursed Tower, the cooker doesn't want to play on the map that needs the most cooking.
Well, some kitchens aren't that good.
Yeah, well, you know, in a kitchen, you got to play to your strengths, I suppose.
Oh, that's true.
And Fractal.
Is that fractal?
And Pavilion A banning Fractal, I think the Accursed Tower played it so well, you don't want to come up and bat against it. And Land Madness is in. That was a quick pick too.
He knows what he wants.
That's it. And Slopes, we've got the two of the most open maps in play. Slopes has given us probably the best game of the tournament so far. The Fenciotto one.
The longest game for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And Bog Islands and Mudflow. These are open aggressive maps. And Hidden Forts is out, and now it's between Monocle and Quarry. Interesting.
Both are good maps.
And Monocle out, so Quarry is in. This is probably the most open the map pool could be.
I'm happy. I hope we get 5 games. These are all good maps.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty epic draft. I think, yeah, I think Slopes is basically 1v1 Frontline, which is TDI's favorite map, obviously in the team game setting, and Bog Islands is basically Water Nomad. So TDI confirmed, right?
Definitely TDI confirmed. I was thinking that when I saw Bog Islands pop up.
Yep. And Land Madness, home map of Matthew in AoE leagues. And Mudflow, a nice hybrid kind of strategic map with lots of opportunities. So
Bog Islands.
Bog Islands. Yeah. It's definitely got to be the Accursed Tower versus Pavilion A. But maybe it's Matthew versus TDI.
I think so. I think so.
Look, we can't be wrong, can we?
I can't.
No. I live in wrong, so if it happens, I'll brush it off easily. All
right.
Civ draft. Admin's got the most STS Civ so far. And Spanish straight off the bat.
Good. Get rid of him.
Admin TD.
No Iceman.
Admin is Iceman confirmed. Okay. Mine's it's a TDI favorite. Oh, sorry.
That's upsetting. That's
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry, Cadence.
I want a word with the admins.
he's gone from twice. And the Accursed Tower thinks Pavilion A is TDI, because that is a TDI ban if I've ever seen one. Ban. That is saying...
ban Incas of Pavilion A, that's what I think. Mongols.
Pavilion A bans Mongols.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
The only time admin hasn't got to Mongols, basically.
Keep eyes on Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gone now.
Yep. No, I'm so confident the Accursed Tower thinks they're playing against TDI. And Romans? Ethiopians.
All right, we know TDI likes his fast castle Ethiopian siege push on Socotra.
He does.
So maybe we see that on Quarry?
Yep, that could actually be a really good shout. He also just likes Archer Civs, and I think Archer Civs have been hit a little bit. And Chinese for Mudflow. Chinese slipping so deep for Mudflow is actually insane. Because
that's good.
They're like definitely the best Mudflow Civ. And Vikings. Hog Islands for Vikings. Dravidians are on the table, though.
True.
And Magyars, and I think that's a Land Madness
Land
pick.
Madness. Good on Slopes as well.
Good on Slopes, yep. I actually think Romans is being cooked for Quarry, for the Accursed Tower. And Slabs.
I like it. I like Slabs.
That could be Land Madness. And Khmer. Okay. There's a bit of cooking going here. The Accursed Tower needs a water sieve, but are they thinking Pavilion A could just snipe Dravidians and not use them right now? That's a bit of draft shenanigans.
Well, let's see. Let's have a look. He's thinking about it.
Mongols are also a very good Bog Island Civ. Georgians, that could be Land Madness, that could be Slopes, that could be a few different things. Ooh. Hindustanis.
Hindustanis.
Fast Castle Ghoul. Come at me.
Magyars could be Mudflow as well. Yeah, they could be superhero. You're not wrong, actually.
Yeah. Actually,
On that.
Magyars is like a full-on scout Mudflow thing. Could be quite good.
I still think that's where Jordan's...
Is Romans Bog Islands? The galleys with the extra attack?
Oh, maybe.
Incas, there you
Incas,
go.
I
And
like it,
Dravidians.
I like it.
Okay. So this is an interesting little draft then. There's definitely land madness, I think, for the Incas.
I think so.
And maybe Slavs is Slopes and Chimera's Quarry? Romans Quarry?
Berbers. I like Berbers.
Berbers are always a good, like they're probably like one of the best A tier civs. I don't think they're quite an S tier civ, but
I think having Berbers and Hindustanis act as a counter to the heavy cav on Slopes or Land Madness or Mudflow. Because you've just got those dominant camels.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And I guess Chimera could actually be a real good land madness civ as well.
They could. Hiding in houses.
Hiding in houses. Yeah. As long as you're you can get out of the house, I suppose.
Oh, well, that helps.
Yeah. Okay, so game 1, Quarry. What are we thinking we're going to see here?
I think on Quarry we're going to see Ethiopians from Pavilion A. Yep. I just think that siege push up the middle is going to be what we're going to see. In defense to that, from the Accursed Tower,
I want to see them do their Roman men at arms again.
So what? Oh, Roman men at arms. I was about to say, what do you think we're going to see from the Romans?
The fractal strategy. The fractal strategy just on Quarry.
I wouldn't be against that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Problem is, if the Ethiopians do that fast castle, they're going to have monks out. And I've done a lot of men at arms all-ins in my time, and fast castle all-in monk is honestly a decent counter to it.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think you go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, that's just me cooking. I think there's quite a few different options for the Accursed Tower there.
I don't mind Khmer. I think it'll be Khmer or Romans against Ethiopians, is what I think.
Yeah. The last picture of Vidians gives them, I guess, options for Bog Islands, and gives them maybe the ability to play games. It's not so straightforward. They're drafted well with civs that could kind of be picked across a few different maps.
They do. They've got a lot of variety in their civs.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think both players are drafted quite competently here. So we're gonna see some interesting games.
Hang on, I'm just going to load the game now.
Yes.
Bear with me.
Let me do the same. Okay, so the Accursed Tower versus Pavilion A. Oh. You're seeing what I'm seeing, aren't you?
I'm seeing what you're seeing, yeah. I haven't looked at... I've only just seen the glaring issue. I haven't looked at anything else.
Yeah. Game go to game 4. That is Quarry.
Game 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hang on a sec, because I accidentally closed Capture Age now.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll just get some confirmation on the order of games, but we've got Quarry as game 1.
Lovely.
For Pavilion A versus the Accursed Tower. I'm just getting my Capture Age up.
Yep. Now, I remembered that I actually have Capture Age Pro as well.
Excellent.
So I can just go back to 0 so we can start at 0-0.
Wonderful. Well, I'm at 0. So thanks to my Pro.
All right, well,
we'll count in.
Count us down, boss.
3, 2, 1, go. And we're in the second semi-final of Blues Clues winners bracket. And we've got the Romans versus the Ethiopians. So I think this could be a little bit as we predicted. That's not going to work, is it? Do you mind if we just quickly pause for 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
I just was playing around with my scroll speed, and it's a bit quicker.
While we're paused, sorry.
Yeah.
The Discord stream that I'm looking at to see your POV is still stuck on the draft.
Ah, great time to pause.
Yeah.
Yes. See? That's why we needed to pause. Okay, my scroll speed's a lot better.
What time are you at?
21.
21. Why am I...
Why don't we...
ahead of that?
We can go back to 0 if you want.
Let's go back to 0.
Yeah. All right. Let's start again.
I love it. Low caster elo.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not about mechanics of casting. I'm about strategy of casting.
I like it.
Yeah. Excellent.
All
right. Let's start again. 3,
Please.
2, 1, go. And here we are. The Accursed Tower versus Pavilion A in the Blues Clues winners bracket semi-final, with the winner to meet Dome of the Rock in the final. We've got the Romans versus the Ethiopians, and we're playing on slopes. So, what do you think, Kados?
What do I think? I would really like to see what you mentioned earlier, the Roman men-at-arms, just because that's fun. I don't know how it goes. This map has a nice, easy wall off. It's uphill. If we can get that Ethiopian fast castle that I'm anticipating from who I think is TDI, then I can see the Romans having trouble with that.
Absolutely.
If the Ethiopians just commit to archers in the feudal age, the Romans getting that extra armor might be able to fight it back. I think it depends on whether we see fast castle or feudal from Pavilion A.
Yeah, and Pavilion A's got an opportunity there. I think the risk with the fast castle is getting the deer in, which you do need, is going to require a bit of pushing. As we see, both players actually focusing at home first, getting their sheep in, finding their boars, and both going for a pretty standard opening so far. There's less shenanigans.
So far, I noticed Pavilion A has gone for a closer wood line than the actual back of the map for their wood, so a little bit closer, but in the long term, that'll expire a bit faster.
Yeah, I think they just went straight back from the TC and found a wood line. The Accursed Tower just didn't find one.
Accursed Tower's scout coming forward very early.
Yeah, I guess Accursed Tower's boar lure wasn't the most effective I've ever seen.
Oh, I reckon that straggler tree
got in the way.
Is what did him in.
Yeah. And I think maybe scouting as well whilst going for it. But I think maybe trying to confirm what maybe Pavilion A is doing. And Pavilion A says, yep, I'm going to go get some, as we see, a TDI boar lure for Pavilion A.
I was about to say, it's another not ideal boar lure.
But we do have one deer in for Pavilion A, and their moonwalking scout going forward.
House tonight. No, he's not going for it.
No.
So sometimes I like to be annoying. If I see a villager come out for house around this timing, I know that by disrupting that, my opponent's most likely going to get housed at 15 pop.
Yeah.
So I go for that. Maybe in a tournament you don't.
Yeah.
But I'm a menace, so...
Yeah, I think, that's when you start snowballing advantages, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to start early.
Yeah. As we see a Accursed Tower villager going forward.
He's fighting the boar. He's bringing the vill forward and he's bringing the boar back.
Wow. Oh, no. Oh, this is the APM tester. Oh, no, he's going the wrong way. You can't go that way, Cursed. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. That's blocked. Cursed?
I think he's going to loop back round.
Cursed?
Surely.
Cursed? Oh, no. And Cursed is killing a deer as well. Now, Matthew is a bit of a master boar lamer.
Matthew, he's lost it. Oh, no.
No, you can't go with the scout, but the vill, maybe it's going to be block and take in, as we see the Pavilion A vill should get it.
This is a rough moment here because Teal's scout is coming back and should catch out this purple villager.
Yeah.
No loom on that.
Loom.
So lower HP.
This is a rough moment. Loom is coming in, and I guess the vill is there now. So we're laming. We are laming.
I like it. I would have liked to hide in the corner and drop sneak buildings a little bit more, but I still like the intent.
Yeah. Hey, like the Bills forward. Let's do what we can with it. I guess the Roman eco doesn't get too disrupted by this, as we see Pavilion A getting Loom, and I think that's Loom to go up.
I think so. He's got a force drop. These villagers.
Yeah.
No, another villager queued.
Another villager
and the
queued.
Accursed Tower's up first.
Yeah, the Cursed Tower up quite early, and that's not the Pavilion. Oh, he's mining the gold. He's landing the gold by taking it.
That's going to be a very long and slow lane, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, particularly without a mining cap. But taking 6 gold home.
Alright, so what? With Ethiopians going up now, it not going to be the fast castle.
No.
So this is going to be feudal age play.
Is this an adaptation from Pavilion A to the presence of Cursed Tower? And I love this outpost.
I like the outpost. And it doesn't cost stone as Ethiopians too. So that's going to be extra vision for a little bit of wood cost.
Absolutely. And neither player scouting or doing anything on the outer rim. Oh man, that 6 gold villager is just laming deer in the middle and taking deer.
Now she's got 3 food.
Yeah.
She doesn't want the gold anymore.
No. We see
another outpost. I really like that.
Yeah. Great vision. And the Ethiopian outposts also get extra vision as well, so they can see a lot more than a standard outpost.
Oh, I forgot they get extra vision. So they're cheaper on the stone cost.
Yeah.
And extra vision.
So pretty good bonus.
I like the range here from Romans. I think Men-at-Arms Skirm is the way to play this.
Yep, because we do have militia on the way. We are long distancing one villager on gold though at the moment. And hey, Cursed Tower wins the scout battle.
Something else that's worth noting is that the Ethiopian player hasn't gone to gold yet.
No.
So they got that extra 100 gold from hitting feudal age, which is that Ethiopian bonus.
They've clicked Men-at-Arms.
They're getting Men-at-Arms. Okay.
Men-at-Arms for no units and going to gold. Okay. 2 archers. Surely Men-at-Arms is a mistake. Surely that was a pikeman click?
No,
We'll find out.
He scouted the range.
Militias come through. Militias come through. Okay. So is it going to be Skirm Men-at-Arm versus Archer Men-at-Arm?
Archer Men-at-Arm.
Interesting.
I don't mind that.
No, it's Archer Men-at-Arm for both. Well, no, Archer Militia versus Archer Men-at-Arm.
I don't mind that at all.
They're cooking. And I think
Town Watch coming in as well.
Accursed Tower just spotted both the Men-at-Arm and the spear, the archer.
I don't know if he saw the Men-at-Arm.
He just ran from the other side of the wall, though. So if he was paying attention, I think he would have seen it.
Okay.
And it is Skirm's been added in behind.
The Accursed Tower has done a much better job of adding farms behind also. So while the Eco Bank looks better for Pavilion A right now, the farming economy is going to kick in soon, and Romans villages work faster as well.
Yeah.
So
no, that's
this food eco is going to fly for the Romans in a second.
Oh yeah. No, there's no investment into the Men-at-Arms for them yet. I think are they planning to just hold this position? Force
I think
the fight
so.
uphill.
They're just going to play defensive.
Yeah. And Bidax coming in for Pavilion A, and interestingly, the Accursed Tower has Bidax, but not. Has Horse Collar, but no Bidax. Oh no, disaster!
This is big.
But I think this should get cleaned.
This
should get cleaned. Yeah, and
see the big brain play.
But there's a dead bill there. There's going to be a dead bill there.
If he can snipe the purple archer with his archers, he can pull his archers away and let the Men-at-Arms kill the skirms. Is the micro play that could work there, but he's just choosing to run, which is probably the safer option. Not as flashy, but gets the job done.
Gets the job done. Now, I'm playing with Big Tree, so I didn't really see that hole.
I didn't see that hole either. I was looking at the hole between the archery range and the house that is now getting walled up. So the archer... Worth pointing out also... You go, sorry.
I was just going to say, the archer sitting behind the walls and the skirms forward of the walls.
See, the Men-at-Arms can clear that now, though.
Yeah. but it's 1 men-at-arm left, and it's very low HP. Oh, no, it's full HP. There were 2, sorry, and 1 died. But 4 men-at-arms from the tower now. And blacksmith, and the tower's 4 bills up. No. No blacksmith. Oh, there is a blacksmith, but no fletching. Doesn't have the res for it. And their veal production stopped.
Think Teal, I'm worried for Teal that they're going to feel comfortable behind these walls. They're going to feel safe. And I think the Roman players are going to commit to feudal here and just make more men-at-arms and just push through these walls.
And that's what we've seen. That's what the Accursed Tower did on Fractal against poor Gold Gumbas.
Poor Gold Gumbas. I wouldn't mind a second range here, I don't think. I think you just need army.
Yep.
Stone walls even. Just get ready to hold against this. Because this is not a Castle Age play. This is going to be a feudal fight.
Absolutely. Armor is in as well for the Roman player. But now, that's when their men-at-arms become hard to deal with. As we see double walling and defending from behind walls, which is good. But the archers get cleaned up on the hill. The archers just got cleaned up by the skirms. And it's skirm men-at-arm.
That's dangerous.
The tower is cooking. But Pavilion A starting to get their eco back on track. They've had a little bit of idle time, but they're starting to kind of correct themselves. And still no bid-axe for the Roman player.
These need to be stone walls, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like walls, but if you're gonna wall, make sure you wall.
Yeah.
You know?
The hill advantage on the men-at-arms there, that's very intelligent.
They're gonna get in.
Oh no! Not paying attention.
You've kept them out.
You kept them out. But with the skirms there, the archers can't defend that well from behind.
No. 2 ranges now though, which is what I said I like to see before.
Yeah.
So I think we just need numbers.
Yeah.
Mixing your own men-at-arms still, I think, is another. They're going to be worse, but they're going to give you something to, what's the word? Some sort of substance in your army as well.
Did a skirm just snipe a farm as well?
Maybe.
I think it did. This is great pressure from the Accursed Tower. This is intense pressure. But having said that, Pavilion A is holding okay.
He is. He is. That skirm is pathing around the outside for him, and that's upsetting. Double bid-axe coming in.
Finally getting double bid-axe. But paying attention to what they're doing, the Accursed Tower, they're on the front, they're putting the foot down, but their macro behind this has been incredible. As fletching is now coming in.
It has been very well played. Fletching needs to come in for Teal.
Fletching will be huge here for our Roman player. But 8 men-at-arms now.
He needs to repair that house. He's mixing in more of his own men-at-arms. That's
Teal's defense has been quite good. The skirm men-at-arm defense, and think we need to just mix a few more archers in now. But also,
I agree.
Adding and then deleting farms for Pavilion A. And we're in. Now, they need to wall on the mining camp to the farms, so they force the men-at-arms onto the TC, but...
TC fire?
Yeah. So far, not too bad, despite that they're in. Just the 1 eco kill so far.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
But I think it's about to get worse. I'm looking at the army numbers.
And I think the 7 on food, the idle TC, the idle eco time is really going to start to add up. As we see, Pavilion A was 7.4% idle eco time and the Accursed Tower 2.6. And fighting men-at-arm v men-at-arm, and the skirms are able to kind of protect the men-at-arms now. So this is quite a problematic position for Pavilion A to be in.
It's looking very rough.
Yeah.
I think fletching would have been a huge help.
Yeah.
There was also just a couple. It's so hard to do when you're under this sort of pressure, but the skirmishers were targeting the men-at-arms with the extra arm.
Yeah.
And if he'd used them to snipe the opponent's skirms, then his own archers had a little bit more freedom.
And the men-at-arms in on that wood line. Oof.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard to deal with. And Accursed Tower clicks up to Castle Age with 31 on food behind
Jesus. This is This is a cook. The Accursed Tower is... And 2 on gold the entire time, right? Like,
Yep.
tell me you're macroing like a god without telling me you're Matthew.
Well, was there a market anyway? There's no market.
There's no market.
No, this is just clean.
And sending a villa out onto the side of the map. Ooh. But I think this has just been insane aggression and well played for the Civ matchup as well, I think.
Oh, for sure.
I think the Romans' power is here. As we just see, there's no res for Pavilion A.
I really want Pavilion A to take away from this, though. I think you've made all the right decisions to survive this. I think they just a little bit more execution on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you had the right ideas on how to survive this pressure. You played well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just...
Yeah, maybe stone walls, maybe just, targeting a bit of micro on the defense.
Yeah, exactly.
But as we see, I mean, only 4 villages have gone down, right? Like,
that is impressive.
It's the 35 to 26 KE that's probably working out in the Accursed Tower's favor, but the only 4 villages going down is actually really impressive. But I think
that's very impressive.
This is a scary moment for Pavilion A right now.
The castle edge time is rough.
But they are, I think they're walled back up now. And I think they've cleared all the purple in their base. So
so they're not dead.
No, and I think we would have seen some players call the GG, but Pavilion's still cooking.
If he can break that house with those men-at-arms, is
there
a hole?
If he can break that house, they can get in. I mean, there's a hole now anyway. Oh. But the army numbers for Pavilion A are enough to defend. What is the Accursed Tower doing in the background behind this? They've dropped a market. They've dropped
a market.
More racks. They're walling up on the side. They've got a vill with an outpost
on the side also.
Yeah. So really, really good vision.
Sorry, bumping my mic stream. I apologize.
Don't apologize to stream. They're here for us. And getting armor. Prioritization of armor the entire time, which has been really nice. But Pavilion A just going forward, trying to get on the front foot and doing well to take fights before longswords and armor comes in there.
They recognize they need some sort of damage here.
Yeah, and I think this is maybe where we saw the Accursed Tower in the Fractal game focus too much on their boom. And were allowed to because of the position they were in. And I think they're in a strong position again, but I think overcommitting to a boom against the Ethiopians who are now getting their eco sorted is possibly a bit of a dangerous move.
I agree. I think sitting back here is how you give the Ethiopians a window.
Yeah.
I really like Pavilion A running in, trying to keep the army home and buy time.
Yeah.
And I really like, in counter to that the Accursed Tower has split his army up and he's got some ready to move forward.
Yeah, no, very intelligent. Understanding... Actually, I think there was a Squires click early as well.
It was indeed.
I think understanding that's the best way to defend, and then I can get on the front foot and say hello. But Pavilion A has clicked up.
I think Pavilion A needs to stonewall.
Yeah.
I think they need to keep out this next wave.
They've spent 5 stones somewhere.
Yeah, they put 1 stone foundation that's just been built next to the range.
Yep. Next to what range?
Oh, it's gone now. I worry there's a hole somewhere between that house and that foundation just because it's on a hill.
Oh, there definitely was, and it just got walled in. As we see a third TC for the tower.
I think I would have preferred a siege workshop forward just to keep this pressure on and stop Heal getting back in the game.
Yeah, that's a foot on the throat move. But I think the Accursed Tower is just going to macro their way to victory here.
Just seen it work for him before.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, they're already at 90 pop versus 46. There's 0 army for Pavilion A. Is it the old Castle Agent to GG? Now, there's a gate being built. Is it going to open? Is the Men-at-Arm going to roll in on it?
I really hope not, for Teal's sake.
I don't know if it's a locked or a... I can't tell. It's an open gate, but the villagers didn't stand inside it like they normally do, so...
These are good, well-behaved villagers. I really want to see double monastery right now. Like, you're up, monasteries are how you can defend this. Yep. Monasteries and mangoes.
Monasteries, mangoes, Scorps.
Our own infantry. See, Scorps worry me.
Yep.
Because of they deal pierce damage.
Yeah, okay.
And that extra armor that you get from... Well, I guess it's the same amount of armor for melee or pierce when you're Roman, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, rocks in the face are hard to deal with, but I mean, yeah, these long swords are getting tickled by the TC now. They're just, you know, particularly when we get the attack upgrade in, these long swords are just gonna be too hard. Yeah.
What's Blue Play saying? Romans seem to be super strong military again. Yeah, it's just... I think with the economy they get behind it, it's just... They can be a very oppressive civilization.
And Accursed Tower is showing that they can make army, they can boom, and they can play incredibly well, as we see the GG well played exclamation mark from Pavilion A. Again, a TDI tell.
Next time, I agree with.
Oh.
TDI tell?
TDI tell, just because he's such a nice guy, he would always drop the exclamation mark.
I think, takeaway from game one, I said this before, but I'll say it again. Pavilion A has a good understanding of what they needed to do in that situation. They knew they needed to wall behind. They knew they needed to mix in men-at-arms and archers. It was just a little bit... If they'd added a couple little things to improve that, if they'd added fletching, would have been better. If the walls were stone instead of palisade, could have been better. But the decision-making was correct. It was just the execution that cost them a little bit.
And I think that's probably fundamentally where we're all at, is that we kind of know the right decisions. It's about the speed in which we make them and how often we make them that, you know, separates probably the slightly better players in this tournament versus the ones that, you know, haven't won sets or have only won one set. So it's been quite interesting.
And then you've got the players that can just go men-at-arms, go brr.
Yeah, and basically that's what happens. And, you know, we didn't notice it in-game, but if you look up on the northern wood line, the Accursed Tower is about to cook even more.
I like it.
So I think that was their secondary strategy if they couldn't get in on the front.
That was good. That's a good decision.
It was good pressure from the Accursed Tower to drop 3 TCs and boom in behind that with only 4.5 minutes of idle time was very impressive.
That's very impressive.
Knowing they only needed 5 on gold to produce from 3 racks is very Matthew-esque.
It's such a... Oh, yeah, Mr. Stat Guy.
Yeah. But, you know, there are chinks in this armor. You know, not pushing with forward siege and not really getting the foot on the throat could leave a way back to Pavilion A in future games.
I agree. I think if there's a slip up in the pressure, Pavilion A has the game sense to punish it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Going forward.
Excellent. So let's just quickly bring up the draft and see what we're looking at. Now, also check your Discord messages if you get the chance.
Oh, popular me. Open game 4 first, the next is game 3. Okay.
Hello, Iceman.
Oh, hello, Iceman.
Let's make sure he gets no ads for the rest of Blue's Clues. Part of that money comes back to me, so it's kind of like it's cheap.
Hang on. So how do I...
The first drafted Civ for both players. And Quarry going to the Accursed Tower.
Alright, so that Pavilion A gets to pick
Pavilion A gets to pick the map now, yep. And Blue and I had spoken a lot about the momentum changes, and Bog Island's been a big map that is a momentum changer. So does Pavilion A say, hey, I know this map, I know I'm strong on this map, let's go there and see what we can get going?
I don't. I kind of think in my head, like I 100% agree with you. But I think if I was playing it, I would want to see. All right, that was a bit of a cheese strat for better terms. Let's play a standard slopes land madness. Let me test against this guy to see how good we are at the meta play,
Yep.
just so I can kind of get a feel for my opponent a bit more,
Yep.
and then I can go Bog Islands if I need to.
Yep.
Because this, I wouldn't say played out standard. I would want to see how we go. I
Yeah.
want to test him a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into a standard map where I might feel like I'm a bit stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
And work into to what we've got there. Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I think that's probably a good approach. So let's load up game two. I'll bring it up on Capture Age.
Hang on, let me just double check something
Yep.
real quick.
Yep. Sorry, game two, which is labeled as game three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right, that is what I was checking.
Yep. Not very good. We've got this. I think we've got this.
I hope I've got this.
Yeah. Okay. Iceman sad because Celts were banned. But Berbers were picked. So you'll be happy about that, Rice Man.
Rice Man.
Okay.
Alright, I'm in.
You're in, and we're going to Bog Island. And we see
Yay.
Pavilion A as the Vikings versus the Accursed Tower as the Dravidians. They thought about the Dravidians a bit too late there, Accursed Tower.
They did.
But they got them. Luckily.
They did get them.
Yeah. Now, are you at 0 seconds?
I'm at 0 seconds.
Excellent. Well, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. So, game two of the second semi-final in the winners bracket for Blues Clues. We see Pavilion A as the Vikings against the Accursed Tower as the Dravidians. Kados, how does this matchup line up for you?
Oh, good question. I think it goes two ways. Well, I'll look at the Dravidians first. I think with that extra, when you get on to the next stage of Dravidians, you get 200 wood, right?
Yep.
I think you want to do a fast feudal and just start massing army as soon as you can. You want to get up early and deal damage to the Vikings.
Yep.
That's what I think. I think Vikings, you've got the option of either going up fast yourself and then making galleys, or going fast castle for your unique unit, the longboat.
Yep.
I don't know if you can get away with that on this map. I haven't played this map enough to really, I guess, get that big an understanding of it. So I think we're going to see both players committing to galleys and feudal.
Yep.
Is what I think we're going to see.
I think it's definitely a galley feudal micro. I think Pavilion A with it as their home map, unless they've got some incredible build ready to go for us, I think it is going into a bit of galley micro, and Dravidians are going to be the same. Now, this is bad, I should know this, but Vikings galleys, do they have any specific civ bonuses?
See, I don't believe so, and I was going to bring this up. Their navy is cheaper.
That's it.
And their docks are cheaper.
Docks are cheaper.
But
yeah.
But I don't think their unit is anything special.
Yeah.
I would have rathered something like Saracens for the faster firing, or even Armenians were banned, but
yeah.
I feel like Vikings have a good 1TC economy because of their eco bonuses.
Absolutely.
But I don't think their navy, their galleys are anything special.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit curious as to that.
Yep.
Which is why I think maybe we see FC longboats because
that is quite a strong unit.
But again, cheaper docks and cheaper military production could help you get those numbers out a bit earlier.
Absolutely.
Help you get that army mass up.
Now, Pavilion A sees a Vil on Shorefish. Are they going to try and snipe it? Because if they do, they'll delay the dock. But they're not.
Blue's telling me that they now get a bonus.
The unique tech in Imp gives them extra attack. It's the same one with the archers for the Vikings.
Bog's Voya is archer line and longboats.
And longboats, but not galleys.
I don't think it's galleys.
Okay. So conversely on that then, though, what advantages do the Dravidians get apart from the fact that their docks are, in theory, I'd say cheaper, but as we see,
I don't think you pick Dravidians for the strength of your navy per se. I think you picked Dravidians because you can hit those timings a little bit smoother.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a timing fire. So
yeah, it's a timing thing.
Yeah, timing and numbers will be the most important thing, and I guess Dravidians get a little bit of an advantage with the 200 woods. Probably the most important thing.
It means you can commit less to wood in Dark Age, still afford the extra docks when you hit the Feudal Age.
Yeah, and
because you've got less on wood in Dark. Yeah, exactly. What I would love to see, we won't, but what I would enjoy is Fast Imp for both into Longboats versus Therissidae.
Fast
which
Imp.
is the both into Therissidae and Longboats.
Yep.
I want a recognition that both these civs have a unique boat, and I want them to both play it for me.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Therissidae in the tournament, and we did see, actually, Therissidae played into a unique unit. It just happened to be Conquistadors.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But yeah, Blues... Oh, sorry, I was going to comment on Blues, the 3 less houses for the pop space. I see that as like a dock discount, right? So the Vikings kind of get that as well, in a sense.
They save the wood, which then they use on the house anyway, but they're not spending extra wood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the wood spend for both players is pretty similar. I think the key is the extra wood the Dravidians gives them a little bit of a bonus. There's 3 fishing ships for both players. Accursed Tower on their way up, but with a little bit more idle time and 2 less villagers. Both players do have loot.
All right, so 30-second lead in the uptime for the tower. He'll be able to drop a blacksmith straight away with the extra wood he gets. Which, as Blue's saying, that fletching timing will be a little bit easier.
Oh, fletching timing could be killer here. Pavilion A's just been a little bit of a pest with their scout. They were hitting fishing ships, microing, like blocking them from dropping off, but has left the Ville alone. And I think that if you're going to be a pest on something, go. I know you're not Feudal Age yet, but just dink the Ville, run away. Dink the Ville, run away. As we see, they're both going 2 docks so far.
Looks like it.
And I do wonder.
Although
I was just going to say, I do wonder if the scout will dive the second it hits Feudal Age.
He's still just annoying those fishies.
He is. Ooh, he can actually kill a fish now.
Surely not.
And the scout gets out of there because it's there's a potentially a Feudal Age scout hanging around.
Smart man.
Yeah. So what were you going to say before?
I don't remember, but what I'm going to say now is that I don't know whether it was the scout being annoying or the pressure or maybe just not familiar with the map 100%. But the gold income was a little bit slower for the Accursed Tower, so we couldn't get those 2 galleys out as quick. So I think Teal's actually going to have his galleys out earlier. And his blacksmith's up as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like Dravidians have already kind of lost
They've been nullified, essentially.
Their advantage here.
And both been on 3 fish. Yeah, it's a really interesting one. As we see, the galleys are in. And stone walls straight away for the Accursed Tower. And that's something we haven't looked at, is how safe can their base be? And I think the Accursed Tower's actually got a really easy wall off once they complete this stone wall. And I think they've been listening to Blue Player, who is adamant that you do not use palisade walls.
Oh, not on this map. God, no.
It has to be stone walls. The Pavilion A's got an interesting map because they actually have like that quite safe wood line on their island because it's on the edge of the map, but their wall off is going to be a little bit more difficult. So
Pavilion A's wall off to secure another gold is going to be rough.
Yep, but Pavilion A is now on 3 docks and moving forward. So I wonder if the Accursed Tower is actually looking to sit back and defend here and maybe try and macro their way through this.
It appears that way. I really like also Pavilion A's scout near the docks as well to see if the army moves out.
Yep. As we see, the Accursed Tower was doing something similar, but actually never scouted the docks properly. Pavilion A's presence. Here we go. And the fish are going to get sniped and going straight for the fish. And the scout's going to go down. Yep. And that's actually really big now. Having 3 working fishing ships versus none is, well, it's really none because that one won't be active. is really big for the Viking player here. Because the Dravidian player can get an advantage on the fish side of things because their fishing
Yeah,
ships
for sure.
do work better. Whereas having land eco is definitely where the Vikings can come into it now.
The Vikings having the free wheelbarrow upgrade on their
Yeah.
villages makes their 1TC play so much stronger.
Oh, absolutely. Not just
I
free,
like.
it's the instant as well.
Oh, exactly. I like Pavilion A pulled their fish away there when
Yep.
they saw the galleys coming forward. That was a very heads-up play.
Yep, definitely.
They're starting to farm as well.
Which means they've got a mill, which is actually really important, right? Because you need 2 buildings. It's just next to the TC.
Ah, right there, yeah.
Yeah. You need 2 buildings to go up, right? And
a good little fight there from Pavilion A.
Yeah. Pavilion A on 3 docks is now starting to take that advantage in production.
I think you don't want to be too passive here as Pavilion A.
No.
You've got the better production, you need to use it.
Got a better production, and their eco is in a better position as well, I think. As we will possibly see some rice farms coming down soon.
We may see some rice farms. I'm surprised that Purple has so much food in the bank. That's...
Yeah. And
where is that coming from?
I think they collected a lot of extra water buffalo. Considering they're still going on the buffalo. As a 4th dock comes in for Pavilion A.
I like this from the Accursed Tower, the counterattack.
Yeah. But
this is going to get interesting.
They didn't wall this side of their base.
Oh, he's coming home now. That's so good for Pavilion A.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
When you counterattack like this, you hit a point where you...
The army's not coming forward. It's just stopped.
Ooh, indecision.
And that's going to be a lot of dead
You're right, they are better fish, but he only had 1 working fishing ship for a long time there, so I don't know if that was the... Oh, that's huge.
Disaster. And the Komodo dragon didn't get the kill. Disaster.
I tried.
You tried.
Purple deletes his wall.
Yeah, but doesn't have the... Oh, it's 12 versus 11 here. Doesn't have the numbers. And took the better engagement initially, so...
And how many... That's 23 idle vills for...
Yeah.
Sorry, my computer froze for a sec, but we're all good.
We're all good, yeah. 23 idle vills and a 6 vill advantage now with 10 vills killed.
That was so good.
Yeah. Huge moment for Pavilion A. And the Komodo dragon, did it pick a weak villager? It didn't. No. But it's now 3 docks versus 4 with a market coming down, blacksmith in play, and Pavilion A is going to click up to Castle Age.
It's just, again, like we're saying, the Viking villages with the free and instant economy upgrades can just be so smooth behind this sort of pressure. And
the wall coming down, the wall's coming down now.
I think you just take the docks now anyway.
Yeah, I think so too. But the Accursed Tower definitely doing the right thing and walling both sides of their base, and now heading forward with their army mass. But Pavilion A is on their way to Castle Age, and their economy is actually very secure on their island.
It is.
Like, there's no wood line you can easily snipe. You know, they're gonna run out of res here eventually, but because they're on top, it's not that big a deal. As we see,
he's gonna lose a couple vills here. Decent reaction.
Yeah, two vills. You take that.
Can he wrap this army in? Where's his army? He's taking the docks on the front.
He's taking the docks, but he's also got army production at home, so there is half a dozen galleys.
Very well.
Yeah.
And his fish have been alive this whole game.
Yeah.
Like, he's got 10 Viking farms anyway, but keeping those 3 fish alive has been huge.
And, I mean, you get the war galley upgrade, but longboats are going to be killer here.
I think you just go longboat. Get Bodkin, go longboats.
Yeah. I think with your mass, you get the war galley upgrade, right? Whoop, as we see, ungarrisoned from their tower, but he doesn't have the numbers.
If I'm being completely honest... Oh, this is a good little fight for Purple here, killing some vills on the wood line. I don't play much water, right?
Yeah.
When I play water maps, I land my opponent and I don't play water. I don't get the galley upgrade often because the galleys in feudal fire faster and move faster anyway, so I've got more micro potential to be annoying. So in this scenario, I just get the longboats and just keep these guys around and be as annoying as I can with them.
Yeah.
But is that objectively the correct decision? Probably not. Is
Pavilion
that
A
what I
splits
like to do?
army up so well. Sorry, I just had to comment on it. The way that they
could get caught out here by doing this. I like the decision, but he doesn't know Purple's got that second army.
Yeah, so I mean, you like taking water off water, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, which is a good way of doing it. Bodkin's definitely the most important upgrade. The next most important upgrade that I think often gets overlooked on water maps is ballistics.
Ballistics. I think it's a toss-up between ballistics or... Is it careening that gives the armor?
Yeah, careening gives the armor. Also often overlooked. I mean, there's no food eco for the Accursed Tower here. There's no Castle Age potential for them. They're in a bit of trouble here.
Even if he had a market, I don't think he could abuse his way up properly here.
Well, he has a market and he has abused his way up.
Oh, there you go. Prove me wrong.
Gold, bought 600 food for 800 gold and has close to 0 docks.
Blue player, the resident water expert, is saying he gets ballistics before War Galley if possible.
Well, there you go.
And he gets it last.
Yep.
He gets it. He says it's needed if they have it, but there isn't room to run. Okay.
Yep.
I feel a bit validated now, knowing that the water expert has backed my opinion.
It's Blue's just probably sad he's missing out on casting a bit of Bog Islands. He could be he would be having the time of his life here, and being that it's a galley on galley one and not a conquistador one.
See, I think in that sort of engagement there, where he fought all those purple ships and he had the lesser numbers, it definitely helps. Then you want it, but
I think Bodkin's the main one because you can just fire from range.
Bodkin's the must.
As we see, all docks are down. Well, we're trying to build another one.
He's trying to dock on the back, but I like that Pavilion A is sneaking around to stop that.
Pavilion A has army control has been amazing. The way that they've kept, just whenever they've moved out, they've left units.
They've done it
in
really
positions so they could control what's going on. Pavilion, and still microing their fish around away from the galleys. Look at it.
This is very well played by Pavilion A, except big no-no. I see palisade walls from them.
Oh no. Maybe TDI not confirmed.
There. You should know better, TDI.
Yeah. But Castle Age, Bodkin, I mean, Accursed Tower's giving themselves a chance to get back into this and making the right decision to dock behind the walls. Dock, mass, and fight your way back into it. But, I mean, we see TCs added for Pavilion A. I think the longboat switch is well overdue now.
Look at this surround up on the east of the map.
Yeah.
Oh no, they got away.
They got away, but
he was trying to corner them with his second army and loop it around.
Yeah. But they're regrouping hurt there, but they're running into a corner, and this could be quite a problematic little fight here.
This is where ballistics, like you're saying, would really help.
Yeah.
I think transport ships should have siege tower capabilities and should be able to pop units over walls.
You've heard it here first, folks. Transport siege towers ships.
I didn't think we needed it, but now that I'm looking at this map, I think that's what this game is lacking.
Can you put a siege tower in a transport ship?
On a transport ship? I don't know.
I don't think you can, but
probably.
The next question is, can you put war galleys in a siege tower?
Oh. And if we can't, why not?
Yeah, that is the real problem. Just drop a couple of fire galleys onto their base. But the Accursed Tower is actually... look, their TC's been not doing a lot. But they've got ballistics.
That's actually quite big. In defense of the Accursed Tower here, in the show match I played against Blue Player, I pretty much ignored food. I hit a point where I went, I'm not going to make villages, I'm just going to make docks and galleys, and I'm going to kill him. There's no point me making food economy here because I can't keep it safe.
No. You actually don't necessarily need it.
So right now, I like his decision to just add docks, add army, and just commit to that.
Yeah.
I think if he wants to win this game, that's his way back.
100%. And ballistics is a good upgrade. Careening is in for Pavilion A.
All right, Pavilion A has just found the docks down the bottom, and he's microing it. Oh, but the regroup in the north really hurts purple.
Oof.
He lost a couple units there.
And the numbers are starting to really add up for Pavilion A little bit, I think.
Are
but
very much.
ballistics is huge here. Ballistics can level numbers so well as long as you're microing. If we sit still, it doesn't matter.
As you're microing, yes.
And this little nook's not good for him.
No.
You got to be microing backwards, I think. Maybe this is the Accursed Tower saying, I've done everything I can. Let me take this fight and see what happens.
And I think
and
so.
The GG is called.
There's the GG. That was well played.
And the Pavilion A brings it back to 1-1 and levels
1-1.
it up. Yeah. Now, I've been trying to stay hydrated and I've been getting very excited. So I'm going to just actually run to the bathroom and let you debrief the game with chat, if that's okay.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure on me.
No
all right,
pressure
chat.
at all.
I'm going to have a quick sip of my drink bottle before I do that. Okay, chat. Welcome to my cast. What do I think of that game? It's a good question, me. I think both players recognized that they needed galley mass and feudal. I liked that. I think the Accursed Tower fell a little bit behind when he didn't have enough gold to make that second galley at the start, and the Viking player did. So the numbers advantage was always in the Vikings players. Well, he had the numbers advantage. He had the third dock earlier, the fourth dock earlier. I think it just was a map knowledge thing. Sorry, Accursed Tower, if you're listening. I think it just came down to you played well. You recognized ignore food eco, commit to army. You made the correct decisions. It just looked like Pavilion A had a bit of a better understanding of the timings on this map. But it's a tricky map to play. I mean, it is an odd one. I think it's our only full water map in the tournament as well. I mean, we've got Fractal, and you see Navy on that occasionally, but I think what could Tower have done differently? Losing the fish was rough. Maybe trying to save the fish like the Vikings player did could have been wall the bottom. Yeah, that's true, Matt. That is something you could have done differently.
It'd be interesting to get Matt's take on what he could have improved on. I think I was caught the end of what you were saying there, and I think for this map in particular, as opposed to every other map in the map pool, played out in this manner, it's all about executing a better build and knowing that build. Whereas it's got probably the least cook potential. Whilst there is still cooking potential, it's the least cook potential.
The cooking potential, I was thinking about this earlier, is send a villager forward in Dark Age, and every time they dock, wall it in. Wall in the dock. Like what you would see in Hidden Cup on Cup.
Yep.
The Tato Doubt build, where they would send the militia with the drush and a villager to wall in the docks.
Yep.
I reckon you do that. There's your cooking potential.
That's the cook potential. Yep. Also, if you go minions and insta barracks a spear, you can collect all the Komodo dragons.
And spears do bonus damage against ships. So,
ooh, here we go.
A castle or tower along the coast is underrated, especially when you're behind Iceman. You raise a good point. A tower to secure some of those docks a little bit better could have helped. I think once there was 30 war galleys, maybe not, but in that kind of late feudal moment, yeah, definitely could have helped.
But I think Pavilion A, just the way they patrolled the docks, and then went to 3 docks and 4 docks really early. They were just their execution and production was just a level above, and that's why they picked it as a home map. You know, that's why Pavilion A took us here.
100%.
But great game. You know, great execution, and it takes us to 1-1. So very interesting. So let's have a look at the draft. We see Pavilion's going down to Vikings. So Pavilion A with their top 2 civs out of the way.
Magyars, Georgians, Hindus, and Berbers.
And a win on Bog Island. So if you're the Accursed Tower, where do you go next? Mudflow or Land Madness?
Again, I've got that same thought process as before. I won with my off-meta strat. This is an off-meta map. Let's bring it to Land Madness. It's a standard Arabia-esque. Let me just play standard versus standard, and then we'll see who the better player is. That's what my head thinks, but my head wouldn't have picked Bog Islands as game 2. So,
well, I think Land Madness for me is the map most obvious to play.
Yeah,
and I think we see Georgians into Incas on it. So I'm pretty excited to see what the players are cooking. So
I think we're also going to get Incas, but if we see Slavs, I wouldn't mind it.
Yep. So Slavs and Khmer, actually, all 3 of them could play Land Madness quite well, as could actually all 4 of Pavilion A civs. I think
that's true.
Magyars are just the better Mudflow pick, I suppose.
Yeah. If there wasn't Incas in the draft, I would say Berbers, because that counterpicks most things. But because there's Incas, it really throws a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
On what you can actually pick.
Well, I think Hindustani's actually probably firm as maybe the pick there, because if you can survive Feudal Age as the Hindustanis and go maybe like a bit more of a like skirm men-at-arm defense or something along those lines, Golem are a meso counter entirely in their existence.
Incas though have the slinger, which
is useless.
No, they're not.
Maybe.
I have wrecked a couple Golem plays on me when I've had slingers. I reckon they are such a good unit against specifically Golem.
Yeah. No, I always forget slingers exist.
What game rank are we looking?
So I'll just quickly mute. Okay, so we're quickly back and we're going to load up the game and see where the Accursed Tower takes us.
Oh my goodness, a very loud car just drove past my house.
I actually heard that. It was very soft, but I actually heard that.
Incas do have the coming blue. Incas are just such a good counter civ. They're almost like a soft Byzantines. They have an answer to everything, I think.
But they're also just my favorite civ.
They're a good archer.
It's that house. I don't get housed. It's great. Okay, right. I'll load up the game as we go to Mudflow, and we see the Accursed Tower with Chinese, arguably one of the better Mudflow civs, and they're going to be going into Pavilion A's Berbers, which actually shocks me a little bit. I would have thought maybe Magyars was the call for Mudflow, but Berbers been burnt here, which probably shows they're not confident on them being a strong counter pick.
We're looking at this the wrong way. Faster moving demos.
Radio. Well,
that's what we're gonna see.
Let's see some woodline destruction. Let's crack into it. Hey, you're at 0 seconds.
I am at 0 seconds.
And 3, 2, 1, go. So, welcome back to game 3 of the Blues Clues semi-final 2, where we see the winner of this game taking a big advantage in a best-of-5 set. It's the Accursed Tower playing as Chinese, possibly the best Mudflow civ available, versus Pavilion A with the Berbers, possibly the fastest moving demo civ available. Kados, what are the thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, first I want to discuss why Chinese are the best on this map. And they're starting with 6 villages as opposed to 3 like most standard civs. and then having the fish right under your TC. But now he's going to the buffalo anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
But
usually the problem with Chinese is you don't have the food. You get those extra villages, but you start with less food to try to balance it. But here you can take the food super quick and you're fine.
Yep. So a Chinese start with 7 idle TC seconds is immense. Like someone really good Chinese player will do what, 25 seconds on a standard map, maybe like 30 seconds.
Perfectly done. Old Chinese on a standard map, 23 seconds was the minimum.
Yeah.
But that's like technically 0 seconds of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because of that lacking in the food.
Yeah.
But again, on a map like this, where the food is right there, you should be fine. If the Accursed Tower pulls out their pro player skills, then we shouldn't see any more than the 9 seconds they're currently sitting on.
Yeah, and they've now got 7 on food, which should be enough to maintain Ville production without too much work. And they go and drop their lumber camp in the middle quite nicely, and that's actually quite a nice big woodline that they've managed to get themselves on there.
I think there's a path. You won't be able to see it because you have big trees. I think there is a 1-tile path that winds through that entire thing and comes out the bottom.
A demo or ball path, hey?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's one tree. There's one tree blocking it. That's so upsetting.
Disaster. Oh no. Speaking of disasters, the Accursed Tower is about to kill a buffalo with a single Ville. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I think he's noticed.
Well done.
He noticed. Well done.
Well done. As we see Pavilion A going to their woodlines around their base, with the Accursed Tower going to the woodlines in the middle. And I think the Accursed Tower, that's a good woodline. I look at this map and I go like, they've got such densely populated wood near their base, and it's actually very open for Pavilion A.
It's very open for Pavilion A. That's really unfortunate for him. Luckily for him, he decided to woodline up the top.
Yeah.
So,
and Pavilion A has not dragged their water buffalo back in after scouting them, and has just lost one to the tower.
Oh no, that's rough.
That is very rough. Blue with the MCWest statistics for us. Buffaloes take 2 hits, so you've got more time to react.
Well, there you go. To answer your question before though, how do I think it's going to play out?
Yeah.
I think scouts for both in feudal. I think you're so far away from your opponent, you need the mobility to be able to run around through the center or around the outside, depending on what's going on.
Yep.
I would like to see demos.
Well, both civs have demo civ bonuses.
Excellent. What's the Chinese civ bonus?
Don't they get double damage on their demos, or is that only on the heavy demos?
Well, this is news to me. Give me a sec.
As we see, Accursed Tower being a pest on a woodline.
Hey, that is pesty. Wall it in.
Oof.
Oh. Demolition ships plus 50% hit points. Huh.
Hit points. Oh, okay. So it's not. It's not actually that.
Does that mean it can survive a demo explosion from another demo? Like if a Berber demo crashes into it, is it?
Actually, possibly. It's still alive, and then it can go, demo on demo actions. Okay. Interesting.
To win this game, though, for Berbers, I think you need to recognize it's all about army production from you. I don't think you're going to be able to outboom the Chinese into a better position.
Yep.
I think they're always going to have the better units and the better compositions. You need to win with numbers and aggression.
Yep. And coming against the Chinese and having a Dark Age with more idle eco time than them, which is not a bad Dark Age at 12 seconds, you're just so far behind already.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
And they don't have the wood for a barracks either.
Yeah. And wood was going to be a problem for them.
Oh, does he know that that's a terrible wood line?
He does. He sees the entire wood line.
That's almost as... The amount of wood on that, he may as well have lumber camped again up the top somewhere, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, the AoE gods are not shining on Pavilion A in terms of the way this map is going to play out. Civ against them and map against them has just...
Oh, can he deny the stable? No, he misses it.
But he missed it, yeah. And Pavilion A long distancing some berries at the moment.
So is the Accursed Tower. Oh no, he's dropping a mill now.
Sorry, the Accursed Tower is the one long distance thing.
Oh,
I got
I
confused.
see.
Noob caster.
That happens.
And checking the wood line for holes there, Pavilion A. Very good.
Oh, he's on it.
Trying to see if there's a dock path in, as we see wall up for them. Actually, this is a quite nice little wall up for their little wood area, if they can kind of cover that corner off. Yeah.
And an immediate spin win from both players. I like that.
Yep. And 2 spears for the Chinese player, actually.
Ooh.
And horse collar coming in. This is the second time the Accursed Tower's got horse collar before Bidax.
That's strange. Especially on this map where right now you're taking 2 berry bushes instead of farming.
Yeah, and your farming eco is very insecure. Much like myself. And Pavilion A dives the wood line with a spear and a scout, and they're going to pick a Vil.
That's brilliant.
Oh, do we save this Vil?
Nah,
Wall it in? Not. Wall it in? Oh, no, we've just run it to its death. But...
Use that spearman to pull the... Oh, there we go. Good job getting out of there.
Oh, it was open.
It was open the whole time.
Interesting. And
Komodo Dragon
Komodo Dragon
on a teal Vil.
Oh, no. The Komodo still dies, but that's a bit of damage.
Purple's scouts coming this way.
Did Purple know? No. Did Purple know? Oh, it doesn't see the Vil though. And Bidax is in for Pavilion A. Yeah. But the early eco kill, you're still 2 Vils behind and you're housed as Pavilion A.
Oh my goodness. Chinese have done a really good job of production here. I wasn't really paying attention.
6 scouts.
6 scouts on the field.
Yeah, and their spear defense of the woodline now means that the spears and scouts can't get a lot of value. And
we need to get spears out soon for Teal because this is a lot of army.
Teal is actually walled up quite nicely. Although they could probably complete that wall on the side and you know, force the scouts to really run around.
Oh, Teal! Okay, that's okay so far. Those scouts are putting the pressure on, but they haven't found the damage yet.
No, if they can find the berries though, out the back, but they're...
Teal grouping up all of his scouts.
Yep, and getting a spear in.
Just don't take this fight uphill. Good. They're both players paying attention.
Yep, both players playing really well here.
I wouldn't mind a second stable here from the Berber player. Well, the food eco might not be allowing for it actually. And armor's coming in from the Accursed Tower.
Yeah, so Accursed Tower with an early blacksmith out the back. Has Pavilion A dropped one yet? I don't think so.
One of the benefits of the Chinese that we didn't discuss is that their technologies are all slightly cheaper. So that scale barding doesn't quite cost as much for him.
No.
A little bit more affordable.
And I think if you're committing to numbers the way they are, and possibly do have the potential to go to a... This is just great micro from both players.
Both players playing really well here.
Yeah. Yeah, having the potential to go full feudal and you know, get bloodlines and get big scout numbers. Spears, they're not a problem once you got those upgrades. You can dive those spears. And 6 spears at home for the Accursed Tower.
Teal has gone to another amazing wood line a bit north of his base.
Oh god. If the other one wasn't worth the wood. And the Teal scouts are in as well.
So Teal pulling one scout away to snipe that weak villager under the TC. Really well played.
Yeah. And has actually pulled the spears out of position as well.
Getting some good hits against the purple scouts at his base as well.
Yeah, lots of action to pay attention to.
Purple could have taken the fight, but he hesitated, pulled away, and just gave the Teal spears.
Yep. Forging is in now, though.
Teal needs to recognize, though, that these scouts...
Oh, no! He's hitting a farm! Oh, and loses 2 scouts! Disaster.
Miles away at home. This is going to get real bad real quick.
Oh. But... Teal, Purple been a little bit tentative here. Respecting the spears quite a lot, I think. Considering it's a map where there's rarely villages under... Oh, he's found the wood line.
Both players have paid excellent attention to their army and controlled their army well.
Yeah.
But what is separating them here is that purple has consistently made scouts.
Yeah.
And teal has idled that stable.
Yeah.
And that has just put him on the back foot here.
Yeah.
And he's sending everyone to gold now.
Yeah, that's just like, what can I do with my villagers? And we see stone, oh no, not stone wall, palisade walling in their one wood line.
I don't mind it. You gotta keep your woods safe.
But yeah, this is a scary number of scouts right now. If they get bloodlines,
and his spears are out of position, they need to come back to the farms.
Yeah, and now everything's kind of happening at your opponent's base, and you can just see the Accursed Tower has dropped farms for days, and Chinese farms have more food.
They do. Another just bonus for the Chinese.
Yeah, another bonus that makes them really useful on this map.
Oh, these spears are just... And there's a hole in the gold, that's rough.
Yeah. I think a pretty good reaction. Good reaction, but yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, this is another example of Pavilion A recognizes all the things they need to do. They just can't quite execute it all at the same time to keep himself alive.
Yeah. Being on the back foot and being under pressure is not something they had to deal with in the first set.
No, I don't think so either.
They got to play on their terms a little bit, and the Accursed Tower is definitely, you know, really putting it to them. As we see it, 5-2 eco kills. But having said that, they just haven't managed to keep their TC running, so they are falling quite far behind. The eco for the... Ooh, my mouse got a bit stuck there. The eco for the tower is just huge.
He's cleared up a lot of the scouts.
Yeah, they were throwing, but not a lot.
There's 6 on the field, there's 3 in the queue, so there's still going to be a couple.
Mm.
But the archer transition for purple is what's going to be killer here.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh man, I want to see 2 rangers.
I would like that as well. I think teal either needs to recognize I've been committing fully to spears. There'll be archers coming soon.
Teal's chopped a hole into their woodline as well.
He needs, what I was about to say, sorry.
Yeah.
Is recognize that and secure a woodline with a tower.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're about to lose wood, and then that's a pretty defining final moment.
There's one thing the Accursed Tower needs to do, and that is get fletching for these archers.
This is true.
But we've got a spear rush and hold the spears killing vills, possibly?
Well, they're going to get one.
Yeah.
Alright, the scouts and the archers and the quick walls. The quick walls are not quite quick.
Oh no, and they've walked onto the house rather than... And the GG from Pavilion A on that moment. And Mudflow playing out as this aggressive feudal map.
That's what we like, though. That's what I like.
22 army on the field at the moment for the Accursed Tower. It wasn't just their scout production. Their spear production was so consistent as well.
Yep. 100%.
That was a real, just a well executed plan from the Accursed Tower. But I will say that the AoE gods did shine pretty brightly on them in terms of
wood generation.
The map they got versus the Civ matchup they had as well. They got a couple of wins there, so good drafting from them. Like, you know, you got to give them credit for the drafting. And then they get a secondary bonus from the gods of AoE. But yeah, game 3, and 2-1 to the Accursed Tower, and shaping up as a strong set between 2 pretty talented players here.
No, it's been very close. Very close games.
They're both showing like a lot of care and control, and like a lot of skill. This Accursed Tower horse collar fascination is interesting.
I think, back to what you're saying, both players were controlling their army very well. There were multiple moments there where they were both dancing around but not actually taking the fight.
Yeah.
That were both... I could have seen other players looking away for a moment and then their army going in and taking the worst fight.
Yeah.
So both were very attentive.
Absolutely. Yeah, super attentive. Yeah. I agree. I probably got it wrong, but I agree.
Let me just update my little draft over here.
Yep. And it means Pavilion A has a decision to make now. They need to win the 2 games to go. They have Slopes and Land Madness. So 2 open maps. Probably the 2 most meta maps left.
What were they? Slopes and Land Madness.
Slopes being their home map, and Land Madness being Accursed Tower's home map. And is it go to your home map and win and take the momentum, or do you go and take their home map from them?
I mean, to be honest, I think I try to take the home map from them.
Yeah.
I think because even if you win your map, you still have to play their home map now.
Correct.
I think you've just got to go for it.
You've got to do it anyway.
I think you just rip the band-aid off and you go for it.
Yeah. So we think in that case we're going to Land Madness, which we were predicting for the last map, which means is it Inca's make ours? Is it Georgians?
I think so. I think Georgians Incas is what we're going to see.
Georgia's Incas, yep. And if we do go to Slopes, I don't think Incas are a slope civ. What does the Accursed Tower bring out?
On Slopes? I would play Slabs, but I think would see Khmer there.
Yeah. I mean, these 2 have just played at it a little bit. I really want to see Slopes, and I want to see Fast Castle Roman Scorps into Fast Castle Gulum.
We've already seen Romans.
Sorry, Khmer Scorps.
There we go.
Sorry. I just said Scorps and my brain went Romans.
No, I understand that.
But I think these players have been less influenced by my tendencies to like out of the box strategies. Matthew just hates me at the moment. God. I'm pumping him up so much after that win too.
You can say out of the box tendencies, but Matt's right here, man. That's
Matt was cooking with the Romans. His out of the box is a bit more cooked than mine. Mine's pretty meta out of the box. Meta off meta.
One day, West. One day. You'll join us in the kitchen.
Yeah. No,
I reckon we're going to see Khmer on Slopes.
Khmer on Slopes. Okay.
Versus versus... I reckon Georgians will be Land Madness. No, Georgians will be here because they can take the mule cart out, get the deer, go back to their base.
The mule cart and Slopes could be pretty interesting. Yeah.
If
so
this is Slopes.
Yeah. And I think for Khmer, like the farming eco on Slopes is actually quite nice.
Yeah, sure.
As it is with Slabs, actually. So actually, either of them could be quite good.
I guess find out.
We will find out. Have you seen the instructions for loading the next game?
Hang on.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Blue with the high elo. I push deer from one side and mule cart the other side.
I put a mule cart on one side, and then I push deer from the other side all the way to that mule cart.
So that your mic is going robotic. That's got to do with the way OBS settings I've got. So if it doesn't get back to normal, chat, let me know and I can change things.
Beep beep bop beep beep beep.
If it does happen again, let me know. It's due to the like experimental audio layering that I do.
Surely we just blame Kados. I blame Kados.
I don't. I know it's an OBS thing. I blame OBS. Then neither of us are in trouble.
I have high caster elo though, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you probably use Streamlabs.
I think I do. I don't know. What do I use? Give me a sec. That didn't tell me. I'll find out. Okay.
It's my settings map, but it's what allows me to play music and not get copyright infringements.
Oh.
So
that's what we like.
Yeah. And then I don't play music. All right. Are you in the map?
I'm in the map.
So I will bring the scene up.
And I'm at 0 seconds.
And you're at 0 seconds. Excellent. We're getting good at this.
There we
So
are.
we're going to slopes. So Pavilion A going to their home map, and it's Georgians into the Khmer.
I feel like that's what we said.
That is exactly what we said. Yeah.
Hooray.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. Now, welcome to game 4 of this fun semi-final between the Accursed Tower and Pavilion A. We've seen a bit of back and forth in the set so far. And we've seen maybe a bit more of the unusual maps being played, but here we are with slopes. Maybe a bit more of the Arabia bot map, but there is a little bit of identity to this map. And we see the Accursed Tower with the Khmer into the Pavilion A Georgians. What are you thinking, Kados? What are we looking to see from the players here? How does Pavilion A get back in?
I think Pavilion A has to go Fast Castle, Savan Towers, cover the map in towers. I don't think
genius.
that. I think that would be cool though.
If they don't do that now, I'm going to be really upset.
I don't think it's something we see enough, to be honest.
No,
the Savan Towers.
No, it's what makes Georgians the best Black Forest pocket. Everyone thinks it's Manaspa, but it's towers and Siege Onega.
Towers. What do I think of this matchup? I think Pavilion A has a nice closed-off map with an easy wall-off to secure a gold and a stone.
Yep.
So if he wants to get to his Manaspa, which is the unique unit for the Georgians, he should be able to do that quite easily. I also think he's going to go out early for the deer on the sides with the mule cart.
Yeah,
because I think he got one for free.
Yeah.
And he's already built a second one at home and got one on the deer on the side. So he's already getting ready for that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see scouts, wall off, Manaspa for Georgians, which isn't atypical for them. But...
No. I think Georgians, you kind of almost want to play them out as you do. Like I think as this game plays out, Georgians are the better civ.
I think so. I think for Khmer to win this, it has to be another case of what we've been having earlier. I mean, with civ matchups at least, it needs to be won in Castle Age.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you just need to, before the Georgians' bonuses and units get too strong, you need to take them there.
Yep, definitely. I think this is the most underrated Khmer opening, and I think people just get too excited for stables go crazy. Open with an archery range. You can get your numbers out. You don't need the barracks. You can build a barracks later and go archers. Get some spears in. Don't do the whole I'm going to skip the barracks. Like get it, but get it later. Good. And go archers, spears, and put some pressure on the Georgian player.
I think archers' spears can be quite punishing on this map. You can prevent the wall off, and you can kind of range over their little wood lines.
Yep.
My worry is, depending on your barracks and spear timing, like you're saying, if you get the range up first, then they can have 3 scouts out by the time you've got 2 archers and a spear.
Yeah.
And then I just think 3-4 scouts can take that fight anyway. I think if you're going to go archers, you need the barracks up first. You need the spearmen instantly.
Okay, no, fair point. So just seen 2 ball lures that quite polar opposites, and I think Pavilion A just again TDI ball luring. But the Accursed Tower,
not a bad spot.
No, but also all the villagers idled and walked back to the TC to then shoot it in that spot.
I see.
Where the Accursed Tower pushed a deer, had a timed boar meat running out, garrisoned the TC, ran the boar around the deer into the it was impressive.
Right, and I guess we're seeing that reflected in the idle TC time.
Yeah, definitely.
That also could be the Georgian player being a bit unsure on when to send their vills out to the side. Might have just caused them a little bit of...
Absolutely. Sending them at the wrong time. Problematic.
And
this is 20 pop, no loom. 20 pop, no loom.
No, that's loom, isn't there?
There's no loom.
He's on 50 gold.
There's no loom.
He's queued behind Feudal Age.
Queued behind Feudal Age.
Queued behind.
Yeah.
Alright. I really hope that the Accursed Tower adds a barracks. I understand people wanting to get as much savings as they can and not drop the barracks. But I just think not having spearmen against a civ that's going to go scouts is going to be detrimental.
So secondary to my archer thing, because it looks like they're going scouts, I think you still open stable and then drop a barracks. As long as you've got houses where you can garrison, but you need the barracks.
I just don't like it because regardless of what I'm playing, I usually create a spearman the moment I hit feudal, just so I can either A, scout a little bit more, or B, I don't know, defend my base from scouts. If the Georgian player makes a spearman the moment they get up, the timing, they can already send that forward or have it defending from the scouts. It's just, I think you need a barracks as Khmer. You don't have to have it, but skipping it just never seems worthwhile to me.
The Accursed Tower must be a Kados disciple, because what did they build? A barracks.
A barracks! Yay!
Can't afford a siege stable now. That should be able to.
Why did you build the barracks? That was silly.
Yeah, God. And built a house next to the mill.
Purple Scout's gonna see Teal Scout, maybe? Oh no, Teal stops.
Teal. Yep, no, Teal's done a good job of not showing themselves in our feudal age, so.
Very good job. And just enough wood for that stable for Teal, chopping it with 2 vills.
Yeah. And a nice little wall off as well. And yeah, the base for Pavilion A just looks a little bit nicer this time around. They're
a little bit.
Getting it looked after a little bit more, but not enormously either.
Instant spear production from Pav.
Yep.
I'm happy to see it.
Yep. And Accursed Tower dropping the barracks but not making the spear does feel a little bit sad.
A little bit.
Eco techs for both players coming in as well.
And we're getting... Oh no, Horse Collar was still clicked first for the Accursed Tower by 2 seconds.
Yep. But at least they got Bidax this time around.
That's true. It looks like Pavilion A tried to snipe a Vil there and just got punched away.
Yep.
So losing the HP there is a bit sad.
It is a bit sad.
And the idle TC time again.
Yeah. Yeah, Pavilion A just having a little bit more idle TC time on their transitions, whereas the Accursed Tower is very clean. But we see the scouts grouping up near that mill. So that's the target, and there is a weak Vil there.
Yeah, but one of his scouts is low health. I think he can still fight this away.
Yeah. Possibly lose the Vil because he wasn't paying attention. Yep.
Oh, that's nice. And that idle TC time's kind of balanced out now because of that kill.
Yep. And there is a spear up there now.
Hey, the barrack's paying off.
Yeah.
He's gone to gold already, the Georgian player. So is this going to be into archers?
Possibly. That is a very early gold.
Purple Scout.
Oh, very good. The Accursed Tower are very patient with their scouts at home. Not running them out, whereas Pavilion A definitely been a bit more aggressive with their scouts.
I like that. I think
really
when you've got 3 scouts, you've got to move out.
Yep.
And sending 2 more back to that same mill, the spearman is there in defense.
But he missed
where
it.
Your head's at.
But then there's a second spear coming to position.
There's a second spear.
Yeah.
Are we going to see the Teal player move out to take the hunt and the fish on the other side? Because right now they've only taken from one side.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't actually use those villagers to go to gold or wood up the top is maybe a bit of a misplay if you ask me. But I think they should take advantage of the mule cut, right?
I think so.
See,
I love how
scout micro for both players. They're just running around. Accursed Tower tries to do a little quick wall, but they're both protecting their units quite nicely.
Teal is trying really hard to be so active with their army, and I'm all for it. I think they're PC, and I think they copped a spear hit as well, which was a little bit sad.
Yeah,
but I like the attempt to move multiple groups around.
Yeah, and the Accursed Tower
TC time catching him out again.
Oh, 7 scouts. Yeah, idle TC time is really making a bit of a difference here, and this isn't because there's no food in the bank. They just have forgotten to put a villager in.
Something we should also is that the Georgian scouts heal over time.
Yes.
So while some of these are low health, they're getting killed now anyway.
Yeah.
But they were getting the health back.
Yeah. So you don't mind taking those hits, as long as
you do mind losing your army though.
You do mind, yeah. They don't regenerate from death.
Oh, Teal. I worry for Teal right now.
Again, the Accursed Tower has just absorbed pressure really nicely, and is putting, playing the game on their terms now. They've set up their eco, and we know that they're just an eco beast. They're getting their walls down, and they're, putting pressure on and sniping a Vil quite nicely there.
Only losing one Vil, though, is
Yeah.
decent for Teal. And he's doing his... Oh, there's another Vil just idle there.
Oh,
That's
no.
rough.
Yeah, no, just walling off quite nicely into the TC when they realised that the pressure was coming in.
He's dropped a market. I'd like to see him abuse it now, I think.
Yeah. Get up. But all the eco's idle now. There's no one on wood. Market abuse doesn't get a lot going here at the moment, unfortunately.
Those villagers he's moving to the back there with a mule cart, I think you've got to send them to the wood line next to your market. Keep them in your short walls.
Yeah, definitely. Or even next to the stable. Like there's ample wood lines you can go to.
People in their walls.
Yeah. At the same time, the Khmer player is I guess you can big wall when you're the one doing the pressure.
Well, exactly. When you put the pressure on like this, you can take the time to secure more of the map.
And despite all this scout production, their food eco is just Khmer rolling.
It really is. He's only going to gold now, though. So, I mean, he's only dropping the mining camp. He might have been long distancing by looking at what's in his bank.
Yeah, but also moving quite a few vills onto it that are finishing their houses.
Teal idle villages near his gold. Oh, they've just moved back.
Oh, yep, the ones that were walling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been very well played by Tower.
Yeah, Tower looking very, very comfortable here.
I think I've been saying this the whole set, and it's clear to me that Pavilion A has such a good understanding of the game. They know exactly what they need to do. It's just Tower has a little bit better with their production.
Yep.
And that's what's making the difference.
Absolutely. Tower's just
Forging of bloodlines.
Tower's been patient and knowing what their windows are. Yeah, forging and bloodlines when you've only got 3 scouts. And
8 on food.
And
a second stable.
Castle HQ'd. And I don't think we're anywhere near that for our Georgian player.
The Georgian player is now in a position where they just have to commit to this choice. They have to make mass spears to deal with the scouts and knights that are going to be on the field from purple, and they have to make their own scouts to actually deal damage. I like this down the bottom, sniping the spear.
Yep.
Now he's can keep those villagers idle there.
Yeah, you just got to hit the house now. Because eventually the house will go down, right? So those villagers just stay idle, but...
The key with being in a position like this, where you are behind an age, is you need to always have army to threaten them. Because if the Khmer player has no reason for his army to be at home, his army is at your base.
Yep.
So right now you can see these 9 scouts coming back. I don't know if that's to deal with these scouts that are coming in the back, or he just wants upgrades.
Yeah.
But you can't take your foot off. You need a way to keep the purple player at home until you can mark it up to your next stage.
Yep. You need to force the battle on your terms and give yourself a break. And they're doing 100%. That well. The 3 scouts, they've brought all the army back, and the spears are going to pick villagers on the outside that have all left the house.
They need to run their scout. They can't take a fight against purple scouts. They need to just run around.
But I think we
get the spears, and this is good.
Ooh, forging in Castle H and diving the DC.
Don't run under the DC.
Ooh.
See, sitting on the gold here is huge.
Oh yeah,
because
delay
now
knights.
You can delay knights.
And the spears. Oh, good micro.
That's good.
Good micro from Tower. Good micro from Pavilion. And hitting the goal. Yep. These players are microing their units really well.
They are.
Teal can get up.
He needs to keep producing army though.
Yeah.
Like I agree, getting up is big, but he can't stop production on the way up.
Yeah. Are we gonna?
Every knight you snipe here is a victory.
It's huge. Yeah, 2 knights have gone down, and the light cav are all so low HP.
This has been good. Forcing purple to drop a market now.
Yep.
3 stables, by the way, for the Khmer player.
3 stables. 3 stables. But no upgrades. Got bloodlines. Don't have any defense.
This is so good, Teal. I was just making sure that Teal, if they're watching this, knows.
Oh, Teal's played this perfectly from this position. And just needs, I think we need spears at home.
Yeah.
We are open on our wood line. We've overcut. But purple has not gone home. Yeah, just run the scouts around. And, like, we haven't seen the light cav upgrade, but one of my favorite stats is that light cav are slower than scouts. Snipe Deville.
Alright. This has been really well done. I don't think you can boom behind this teal. You need to recognize that you've done good damage, but purple's army is higher.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your own army to compete with that, you can't boom right now. So I'm saying there's going to be too much army for you to comfortably boom.
You see the second TC, so you get concerned, but you need to punish the boom.
You do. And you've seen 3 stables now as well.
And sniping another Vil on a farm.
The villager difference is 2.
Yeah, this has been, really well played. These 2 scouts have got 6 kills.
This is really well done, Pavilion.
This is epic. And dropping a 3rd stable, getting armor. So,
good. Good.
The Georgian, the scouts keep healing, and they're dead now. That's why you can do that so well. It's 9 army to 3, and we've actually got better upgrades on our scouts. We've got bloodlines and we've got 2nd armor. So the Accursed Tower's not got the upgrades they want. They've not been in the macro position they want to be. They are going for a 4th stable. But they're not going to be able to produce.
You need to sell that wood and just make army.
But now it's critical that they defend and don't throw it.
Exactly, and this could be a bit of an army throw. No, purple backed off.
Purple backed off, which is interesting. Yeah, running up the slope, really smart.
What I want teal to do is just send these knights forward straight away.
Yeah.
Just so purple's army has to react again.
Force him back again. Now.
Would love a monastery clue TC.
Oh,
Clue
calls it. Yeah, a defensive monastery for either player can really swing this
TC.
game.
Ah.
Yeah. I saw
it. Be
it.
careful of an overchop on the right as well for teal. I don't think it's there yet, but it's on its way.
It's already happened once, and it's 19 wood away from happening. But iron casting is in. Purple is the better army. Up. Oh no, the overchop and the knights are there. Oh. And teal going forward. Teal sending everything forward.
If teal gets in, it might pull purple's army back before purple can find the damage here. But I'm really worried about this overchop.
Oh, and that's right where purple is. Oh, was it already overchopped? On the other side, on both sides, yeah.
But teal's getting in at other guy's base.
Teal's in on the Accursed Tower's base, but we've just got a nice little house wall off here.
Teal needs to take the stable.
But
that's
now. Is it worth purple diving here? If they lose all their army.
Diving the TC? No. Diving past the TC? Yes.
Yeah. Hitting that gold, gonna be huge. And they've done well to get away from the TC. And at the same time, they're in. They've killed the house. And they're diving in as well.
Huge.
And it's 18 idle, 22 idle Vils for the Accursed Tower, and 27 for Pavilion A though. No economy is working right now. It's the Great Depression.
I think it was that TC that hurt Pavilion. Like, he's still in an okay spot with his raid at Purple's base, but he can't kill the army in his base now.
No. It's equal army at Purple's base and less army at home.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you're going all in knights, you need to be producing.
But he's cleared up Purple's army at Purple's base.
Yeah.
So now, with +2 armor, he's fine to raid under these TCs. He's going to heal over time.
Yeah.
Purple's leaving.
Yeah, Purple just ran through a different hole. Right, let's get these builds back to work. Now the eco difference, 64 to 29.
Eco difference is huge.
It's not to say Pavilion A is out of the game, but...
Well, 55 of the villages are idle for Purple right now.
Yeah,
so...
yeah. What's the point if you've only got 11 working? And the idle eco percentage in terms of time, total time idle for their economy is pretty similar.
it needs to be it's not a good spot for Teal, but what he needs to do is Market Abuse and Knight Army. That's
Yep. Sell that stone. Oh, we're gonna go Manaspa. It's just too much investment to get there.
I agree. I don't think you can get there comfortably right now. I think when you're going to do something like that, you need army to buy you the time.
Yeah.
And you don't have that army right now.
No.
Excuse me.
10 knights behind really, really hurts. But yeah, no, this has been, I mean, a great play by the Accursed Tower to just keep the production. Now TCing up the top, just building up that economy. Both players, their micro on their units is insane.
They've been controlling their armies really well all series.
Yeah. Their care and, you know. Yeah. Well, don't run them into your base, though. And there's the fortified church.
So that will boost the economy of units around it, but I almost would have liked it, I guess, near the gold.
Yeah. And husbandry...
But if it's just...
big upgrade. Big upgrade in this situation.
Husbandry making the cavalry move faster, obviously, will just help these purple knights chase down these teal knights that are just running around causing chaos.
Yeah. Healing and
as he's moving out with more knights on the right. He's doing a good job of peeling his armies.
Yep.
Trying to hit different spots. Again, he knows what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He's just got to do it.
Yeah. And maybe coming from a position of being slightly behind, dropping the TC, which is a comfort move for a lot of our mid-elo players. But something that I think, if you're going to go TCs, go lots of TCs. Don't drop one, drop 3 or 4 in this situation. If you're going to go army, go army. The 2 TC play is always something I get a little bit... I don't like it. I like to avoid 2 CCs, but we're getting some raids in.
This is a good raid.
Are we on no attack stance? Yeah. But at the same time,
this is so much army
knocking on our door. No, purple's knocking on the door, I should say.
On Teal's door.
On Teal's door. Teal's door's been knocked on.
Alright, he's running around with army in multiple spots. He's really trying to, I guess, distract purple, give himself a window.
Yeah, and if you can do this well enough, you can actually really, really stop your opponent. But tower with 70 villagers, 34 knights. Too good. GG, well played. And the Accursed Tower is into the final. The Accursed Tower versus Dome of the Rock. Here we go. Well played, both players.
Very well played.
The theme of the entire Blues Clues so far has been games played, sets have been played at such a high level, and I think like closer than scoreline would ever indicate.
For sure,
100%. Like both players should be pretty proud of how they played in this set, how they executed. And the 2 players that have got to the final have looked rock solid the whole way through.
Dome of the Rock solid.
Dome of the Rock solid. Or an Accursed Tower rock solid. Yes.
Not as good, but
not as good.
Nice try.
No, yeah. But yeah, like really, really well played to both players. Pavilion A versus Hut B in the 3rd place playoff.
That'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting. Blues posted the fixtures. That's good. I was relying on my memory. Let me bring it up. Then, so Rice Farm versus Fence in the 5th place playoff, and Yertle versus Golgumbaz in the 7th place playoff. So I actually think there's going to be some quite interesting matchups here. And possibly for a few players, it's a chance to kind of let loose a little bit, particularly in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th place playoff, where they can go for a bit more of a out-of-the-box strategies. There's nothing to lose anymore.
There's no pressure now.
Yeah. So that's the final fixtures that we've got coming in. And we'll obviously figure out a casting schedule once the games are scheduled and completed. But I'm hoping that we'll have some more casting next weekend and maybe some casting throughout the week as well. But Kados, thanks a lot for joining me. What's your take on this game, on this set, and what we've seen?
This set was probably my favorite one so far, if I'm being honest, because both players' decision making was correct, if that makes sense. Like they were both deciding what they needed to do, trying to do the right things. It was very high level, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, this possibly felt like a couple of our players that have made a tilt for 1400 recently.
That's what it feels like, to be honest.
And just really starting to get that understanding of decisions through the game. And I think the Accursed Tower just maybe on a couple of the maps just made slightly better decisions and just maybe reacted better with their decisions, and managed to just take the front foot. But they're not without weakness. They're not without chinks in their armor.
I think they were. How do I word this? Sorry, give me a sec. Both of these players were at high enough level where not only were they recognizing the right decision they were making, but they were understanding how to punish what the other player's decision was.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Accursed Tower recognizing third stable before the second TC, and then a fourth stable, he knew that Teal had decided to settle back on that second TC, and he just punished it, which was very well played.
Yeah.
And likewise, Accursed Tower got up earlier, and Pavilion A recognized that he needed more army and needed to keep himself in the game by running around and not necessarily taking the fight. So both players just understanding the game
when your opponent's up before you've even got the resources to go up, and they have knight potential, and Pavilion A just kept him at home for so long.
He put himself back in a very good position. It was impressive.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest challenge is when you're coming back from those positions is that there's no room for error. You just have to continuously make the right decision time and time again.
Not necessarily with this game, but with this situation in general. I think a lot of people, they fight their way back in tooth and nail, and they get up to Castle Age and they go, "Oh, I did it. I can settle down now."
Yeah.
But that's not the case at all. Now that your foot is on, you have to keep it on the gas. You can't take off.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Which I think it's not necessarily this game, but just that situation of being down on age in general.
Yeah.
You can't ever settle down. You can add TCs, but once you've taken good fights or more map control.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, really well played to both players. Should be proud of how they played. As everyone in the tournament should be. Like we've seen some really nice high level games, really competitive games, and some great sets. And I think we've got some cracking sets up ahead of us this week.